Hey guys, how you doing? Carlos here from Angler's Lifestyle. We're just getting ready to go fishing for catfish tonight. So we are heading to Quarry Lakes in Fremont. We're gonna go fish from 4 or 5 p.m. to closing time, which is about 10 p.m. And the park officially closes at 10, so there are spikes that prevent you from coming in but does not prevent you from going out. So the park closes at 10 and it allows the anglers to go and fish nighttime for catfish. Anyway, as I prepare for that, I wanted to show you the type of gear I bring with me in order to do nighttime fishing. Okay, I've got quite a few of things here, starting with a lantern. Okay, it's good to have a nice light LED lantern, all right, that essentially you just pull it out. Okay, this guy allows you to carry it around the dock, around the banks, and when you're working with fish, it's good to have a lantern around, especially in the dark. Okay, that's one thing. And you just push it down in order to turn off. You can go ahead and set it aside on the side, turn it on whenever you need it. And the other is I have a headlamp, and a good headlamp is very important. And this one is it's a high power headlamp, and it actually allows to focus the light beam. Okay, now zooming is great because it allows you to see the actual line, okay, itself, if it's being pulled, if it's stuck somewhere. Okay, so again, a headlamp, and this one, it's it uses the AA batteries, and it's high capacity. There are ones that uses the lithium type of batteries, and those are a bit more powerful and last longer. But anyway, so the flashlight, the headlamp, is very useful because if you're moving about, you don't necessarily want to carry this. You just put this where your tackle and all that stuff is. But when you're dealing with fish or trying to reel it in, you definitely need a headlamp. Okay, in order for you to see whether you have a bite or not, okay, it's best for you to use these bells. Okay, these bells are useful because you put this on the tip of your rod, okay, and when the rod itself, so you would clip it like this, so when that rod flexes like this, you would hear that. Okay, and in the dark, obviously you want to have some type of audible in order for you to hear if you're getting a bite, or at least fish is working on your bait. Okay, and there's a spot here. Okay, you see the hole? That hole is useful because using these glow sticks, okay, the glow sticks actually attaches to the tip. Okay, so you actually install it like that. So when you break the glow stick, okay, and it allows you to see the tip of your rod, and when you have 2 or 3 of your rods out there, it's good to be able to see that at nighttime. And obviously when you're done with the glow stick, you just throw it in the garbage. But it's a good way for you to see which rod is actually getting a bite. So the combination of the bell, okay, and the glow stick, it's actually really nice. Okay, there's a product that I use also. It's called the Mad Bite. And the Mad Bite essentially is a something that will strap onto your rod. Okay, and the line sits on these rollers, and the rollers have a magnet on them. Now, in order for this to work, okay, your line has to actually spool out. Okay, meaning if you don't have a bait feeder, okay, on your reel, it's not quite as effective. Okay, because what happens is this thing, if it's tight, okay, if your drag is tight on this, the roller will not spin. Okay, so it's very important that you have a bait feeder in order for this to work effectively. Not to say that it will not work, but what happens is I've seen it many times that it actually jams, this thing will not spin and so on. And depending on how you mount it, okay, it's not going to work. But it works using these magnets, okay? There's these metal pins, okay? When this thing spins, okay, those metal pins, okay, triggers against the main component of this, okay? The main component essentially just snaps on like this, okay? And then you turn it on by turning it to the side, okay? And when the roller spins, okay, you will not only get a light, a blinking light, that allows you, that tells you what it is that's, or whether you're getting a bite, or essentially whether that that catfish is playing with your line. Or when it starts to spool out, when your bait feeder starts to go, then it tells you, especially in the dark. It's a great way to determine which rod it is exactly that is triggering the bite. The amusing part about catfish is, as long as the skin itself is wet, the catfish becomes really, really slippery. So it's best to handle catfish with gloves. Now, you don't have to have really, catfishing type of gloves in order for you to handle catfish. You can just get yourself some industrial gloves, or even just the standard latex or whatever. But the thicker gloves obviously prevents the catfish spike from actually poking your skin or doing damage or hurting yourself, especially the little catfish out there. The actual spine itself, there are 3 of them, one's in the dorsal and 2 in the pectoral. The younger catfish, those the end of those spines are actually really painful when it pokes you, and it can do some serious damage. And so handling catfish is a serious business, and make sure that you have gloves, and make sure you keep it away from your eyes, or any body parts that'll definitely sting you with respect to that spike. But it's good for you to handle them with gloves, and in order for you to remove the hook from the mouth of the catfish, remember I use circle hook. It's very easy because most of the time it's only lip hooked. It never gut hooks the fish. So it's lip hook, and then all you need to do is get yourself a nice pair of pliers. This one is just it's not even a fishing pliers. It's Stanley. It's a Stanley portable. It's stainless steel, and it's really cool. It's got knife, it's got saw, whatever. But anyway, the point is it allows you to handle the hook, the size 3/0, 5/0, 7/0 that I actually use. And what you do is you grab that hook and you just jiggle it, and then you just spin it like that, and it comes right off. Okay, so handle that catfish properly with these type of tools. Now on the bait end of the catfish, you've seen me in some of my videos. I've used these Versa rattles. Okay, these Versa rattles adds a little bit more of sound to your rather dull, mundane bait. These rattles are actually really good if the water is moving, if there's current, the current that's moving your bait about. So it gives a bit of a sound. Okay, it gives a bit of a sound on your bait out there. But when you're just dropping chicken liver, cut bait, bottom fishing, sometimes these things are not very useful. But hey, every bit helps. That little clicking that will bring that catfish from quite afar. See, their entire body is like a sonar. They can feel vibration, they can hear the sound from a mile away. Okay, so these Versa rattles allows to give me that additional hook up, if allowing them to find my bait faster. Okay, so I do suggest that these Versa rattles are something that you should invest on. Colors doesn't matter, red, black, blue, doesn't matter. So again, Versa rattles in order to give some sound to your bait. So on the bait end, okay, it's also good to use these octopus circle hook. I had just run out of the 5/0, and so these arrived, and I was so excited. It's quite timely, so allow me to use this and to bait them with shrimp. and they're the right size for a shrimp as well. Okay, so get yourself some circle hooks. Heavier weights is key in order for that hook to work. Okay, unfortunately at Quarry I cannot use lead weights. Okay, at most is the steel weights, tungsten, whatever other than lead weights, because there's a lead restriction there. Anyway, 3/4 ounce is what I got, and that's what I'm going to use. But you know, it's best to have the larger the hook, okay, that you're going to use, the heavier the weight, in order for that lip hook or the offset of the octopus circle hook, in order for it to set on the mouth of the catfish when they turn. Okay, you want that weight to hold that line down. Okay, and the flex of the tip of your rod allows that hook to set in. Okay, so heavier weights for bigger hook is best. Now, bead, okay, the bead is always there to protect your line against your snap swivel. And as far as snap swivel, it's best to use the larger size snap swivels. Okay, this will allow you to connect to your 25 or your 40-pound monofilament leader. Okay, in order for you bring in the larger catfish out there. So the plants have been happening, and I don't know what type of sizes they're actually dropping there, but you know, again, you know, the heavier the gauge of the equipment is best, so you know you can prevent from losing your fish. So again, a bead to protect your knot on your snap swivel in order for you to connect to the heavier gauge leader. Okay, now that the catfish season has started, I'm starting to use my heavier gear. Okay, what does heavier gear mean? That means I'm using heavier weight lines, you know, a larger capacity reel, such as this Dr. Fish Hercules, okay, 5,000 reel, and it's also a bait feeder. Remember, I have a love relationship going with bait feeder reels, and I found this one and wanted to give it a try. I mean, it's a very nice reel that matches my Cabela whipping stick. Now, my Cabela whipping stick is a heavier gauge rod as well, and this one is actually made of fiberglass. Okay, and it's a 9-foot rod. Okay, it's got a nice hooded reel seat, okay, with cork handles, okay, a long cork handle, and it has a tip, okay, that's easy to see, okay, at night. But honestly, during the day, it's also great. And I love the fact that this pole is blue, because against the sky you see it blue when it's sticking up this way, and then you have white at the tip. So there's a big distinction when you see that white moving up against a blue sky, and it's great because it tells you that your fish is actually on. But anyway, so I will be doing some maintenance on this before I go out tonight, and I will show you how to do that. Okay guys, so as I prepare for catfishing tonight, it's best that you do a little bit of maintenance on your reel to make sure that, you know, your reel is actually operating at optimum performance. This reel is actually not too bad, okay, but I just wanted to show you guys the basic maintenance that you should perform on your reel before you go out and use it again. Anyway, similarly, you would do the same maintenance on the reel before you put it away for the season. But anyway, this is just basic maintenance that you should do with for your reel. Okay, so first thing I would do is obviously take it off of your rod. Okay. Okay, and you also should inspect your rod to make sure that you know, there's no buildup of debris or any type of bait that has collected on that. And it's good for you to just use, I use just a wet wipe, okay, to just get all the stuff out, you know, get all the dust out, get all the crumbs out of there. Okay, This is again very basic. You know, make sure that there's no other debris in there that has collected over the time that you've been fishing. Okay, so just do a basic wipe down. Okay, so I would use the same thing for your reel. I would just clean it out a bit. Okay, just to get the debris out, the larger materials that has collected. Okay, all right, you're probably wondering, why am I doing this before? Now again, it's just maintenance, just getting all that stuff out of the way. All right, so once you've removed that, okay, the first thing that you should do is especially if you're going to be dealing with lubricants or anything that's petroleum based, highly suggest that the first thing that you do is you remove your spool. Don't get any type of petroleum based products on your line. Okay, that's not good. The fish can smell that, and that's like kryptonite to them. All right, so I would set it aside. Okay, this is your drag knob. All right, so now you've got your reel exposed. Okay, so a perfectly balanced reel, okay, should essentially just allow that handle to just swing down rather easily. So again, this reel is probably in good shape. It's one of the reels that I probably have already done some maintenance. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to continue maintaining that reel. So again, using your wet wipe, you know, you just run through the all the rotors and get all the dirt out of the way. Okay, these are any type of buildup, you know, wipe the bail. Okay, check that out, make sure that it works, that there's no debris that's preventing that from working properly. Okay, I try not to touch the actual reel, what do you call these things, shaft. Okay, but what I do with that, okay, essentially is there's a bit of a buildup of oil. Okay, I could so choose to take that off and apply a brand new lubricant, but I don't need to do that at the moment. Okay, I just wanted to show you, okay, a perfectly balanced rotor, okay, and a reel that's in good order. Okay, the handle, okay, should be able to drop down and swing back and forth like that. Okay, so as far as part of maintaining your reel, I had purchased this Ardent reel butter lubrication pack. It comes with 3 lubricants. You've got the reel oil right here. All right, you've got the reel oil. You've got the what is this? The reel grease. Okay, and the reel lube. And each and one of these, okay, have a specific use. Okay, in the back they've conveniently showed you what these particular lubricants are used for. Okay, so the lube, the bearing lube, is used for the bearing. Okay, you can't make a mistake on that. And then of course the grease is used for the internal gears, okay, that are inside the reel. Okay, and then of course you've got the reel oil. Okay, so anything that's essentially like the main shaft, okay, it's useful for the reel oil to be used for. So anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and give that a try. So the first thing that I would do is I would use the reel oil. Okay, so the reel oil I use for the main shaft. Okay, so as this guy moves up and down, okay, all right, I bring it to the highest point like that. Okay, and I apply a small amount of reel oil, and I just bring it, I rotate my rotor, okay, as such. and allows that, to go up and down, okay, and applies the oil accordingly. Okay, there we go. But anyway, so the real oil, okay, is used mainly for that shaft. That's what I use it for. Okay, now the real lube, I use it for any type of bearing. Okay, so the bearing, okay, is inside right here. Okay, you should be able to see that. All right, you can see that as well. That's the part that I would use the real lube for. And you don't necessarily need a whole lot. Okay, you just need a few drops. Okay, a few drops on the bearing. There you go. All right, so you just let it sit a bit. Okay, and I would put back the handle. Tighten it up. Make sure that that aligns properly so that you don't destroy the actual screw. There we go. Alright. Okay, make sure you wipe off any excess oil. Okay. Alright. And then you essentially just turn your handle, okay, in order for that lube, that bearing lube, to work properly. Now, there's another piece to this. Like I said, there's this butter. Okay, this real butter. Now, if you remove the screws, okay, inside there's the mechanism. You will see the gears and all that. That's what you would use for. But I don't necessarily need to do that at the moment because there's absolutely nothing wrong with this particular reel with respect to the mechanism, okay, for the inside. Okay, it's also good to use this bearing lube, okay, on this portion of the reel, right next to the bail. All right, it's good to put it there as well. But unless, like I said, unless you're having any problems, I wouldn't, lubricate that at the moment. I think it works just fine. All right, so that's your basic reel maintenance. And as you take your spool and you put it back, all right, make sure it's aligned properly. I would also wipe any type of excess oil up top there. I wouldn't do too much, just get the debris out of the way. All right, that goes with that. All right, there you go. So you just line it up, okay, and then you put back the drag knob, tighten it back in. All right, and there you go. All you need to do essentially is put it back in your reel, make sure that it sits properly, okay, tighten it up, okay, make sure that thing there's no wobble. All right, there you go. Basic reel maintenance. Okay, so here's your update. We are day 2 here at Quarry Lakes, and we were here yesterday and we didn't catch anything. We tried the chicken liver, we tried shrimp, and towards the evening I switched to Vienna sausage, and I think I got a hit on that, but again it got too late, so we had to leave. So we came back here, found out that there was another plant, and so we went ahead and tried the same thing. Tried the shrimp afternoon and chicken liver as well, and didn't get any bite whatsoever. So I went ahead and switched to a 7/0 hook and a Vienna sausage that I put on my mesh bag. And it didn't take very long for us to actually get a catfish using that type rig, and my wife actually pulled it up. Yep, hold on, just work with it. Where is it? Where's our first cat? Hi. Yep. Ooh. Yep, there it is. Good size. There's the catfish. It's got the rattlers on it. On the whooping stick. All right, with the Vienna sausage. Okay, I'm just gonna put it down like this. Right. Oop. Nope. Just let it be. No, no, no. Come on. Yep. It's okay. Right. Nope. Yeehaw! Yep. Here we go. First catfish of the night. Caught on Vienna sausage. Yeah, right? He's smiling at me. Oh, it just broke. There we go.
So slippery.
Yeah.
Grab it. It's gonna fly.
Here we go. Hey guys, I hope that you enjoyed that fishing adventure. I just wanted to share with you one more tip with respect to how I rigged that Vienna sausage. I made these little pouches that I actually put the Vienna sausage in, and using a 7/0 hook, I rigged this so the hook sticks out like this, and I casted it out. So I had shrimp on my rods pretty much all afternoon, and they didn't want to take that shrimp at all. So I wanted to switch to Vienna sausage as soon as the light in the horizon start to fall like this, and I casted it on the same spot. That's one of the key. That's similar to trout. You know, you give them the same thing over and over, and then they don't like it, and then suddenly you switch it on them, and bam! Not even 10 minutes, we pulled up that catfish. So that's usually one of the ways that you can change up on your baits. If you're using the same thing over and over and dropping at the same spot, it's good that you actually switch it. All right, and of course, you know, we caught that catfish, and the night after we cooked it, we cut it up. First of all, you drain the blood, you cut it up, and we fried it, okay? And it was quite enjoyable. But anyway, I hope you guys learned a little bit about that catfishing adventure as far as how to rig your gear. So go out there and go catfishing. There's plenty of fish at Quarry and all the other locations. So as always, come fish with us sometime. See ya.